Hello, students. Welcome, students, visitors, anyone interested in web development. So today what I'm showing you is wireframes. Okay, let me minimize this. And so when it comes to wireframes, you got to remember, what is a wireframe? A wireframe is basically just a nice skeleton. A skeleton of what you're going to present, most likely if you need to communicate internal and external with people, personnel about a web page. You can use wireframes for anything. You can use wireframes for game applications. You can use wireframes for web pages, web applications. But we're going to do web pages, web applications here. Okay, so wireframe is the bare bones of what you're going to go build for a company, for somebody that's going to pay you, most likely, even for yourself if you want to. Okay, and so you just have a basic outline of where things are going to go. So why wireframe? Because it's easy to move things around if you need to. Like, for example, here I have up at the top, I have my nav bar and I have home, game, about, contact. You know, you sit down in a board meeting and maybe you might have a 5 to 15 minute argument of whether or not this is the right order and what you think should go in alphabetical order. You know, should the game, obviously this is a game, go first or what have you. So it makes it a whole lot easier to rearrange than, I uploaded some videos so you can watch some other videos. Makes it a whole lot easier to rearrange because you have, because you haven't went and built the whole thing. Okay, so you the students, for me in this class, you're going to need to demonstrate 3 different wireframes. Right here, this wireframe is the desktop. Notice it's more in the shape of the desktop, elongated, right? Rectangular, where the longer side is, okay, this side right here, right? That's more of a desktop shape. So you're going to have to do a desktop. Then you have to do a tablet. Let me bring up my tablet one. Okay, so notice how the tablet, try to get this going for you. Notice how the tablet, that's nice and long, right? Like a tablet would be, from top to bottom, so vertically it's long. And you're going to need to do a mobile. Okay. So this is mobile. Notice so your mobile should be skinnier and shorter than both the desktop and the laptop. Okay. So notice, and you already know, between your desktop, and I said laptop, sorry, desktop, tablet, and mobile, you know that the desktop which one has more real estate? Okay, the desktop, bring this back up, has more real estate. So you have more room to place more items. Okay, so I can put everything on one screen and I shouldn't have to scroll if I don't want to. So here I have my game board. That's my centerpiece. Obviously, this is the game page. Remember, you need to show 5 to 8 pages. So you need to show a home page, how things are going to be arranged, not a game page, but whatever you're doing, a product page or a service page or a pricing page or whatever pages you need 5 to 8 pages, an about page and a contact us page. I'm only going to do one. Remember, you need to do 5 to 8. So please don't come back and say, well, the professor only did one. Yes, I did one to show you how one looks like. And I know you know how to count because you're in college. So please do 5 to 8. Okay. Pages, not 5 to 8 pages per device. Remember, you got 3 devices, so that's 15 pages all at minimum. 5 for the mobile, 5 for the desktop / laptop, 5 for the tablet. Okay, moving on. So because I have more real estate, I can put everything on a single page if possible, and that's a good idea because there's some people who still, they go to page and they don't know to scroll. And there's debate out there, scrolling, what do you call it, intuitive or not. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. Depending on what company you work for, they may say never make a person scroll. It is a good idea to have all your information up front, in front of someone's face, so they can see it and they navigate. A person pretty much knows, here's all my buttons. I didn't do a footer. I think you want to do a footer, but footer would just be something similar to this, skinnier and at the bottom. So here's my nav bar. Okay, I got the home, like I said, game, about. And so over here I have my info and I have my stats. And you might ask, well, how is stats different from info? So stats might be like my points, how many games I've won, if this is a continuous loop game, such as things like tic-tac-toe or checker. Or if this is, maybe a shooter game, we just say what kind of game it is. It could be a shooter game, so I'll be keeping my, track of how many points I have. And then info might be whose turn it is or what action is going on. Might be the level you're on, if you're making a game. Might be the time, you're keeping track of how much time you have left. You might have your weapons over here, or what other type of grab bags. So depending on the type of game you want to create. And then of course the game board would be the main action area where you're doing whatever action. If this was Legend of Zelda, you would have the maze or the layout, and then, the little, Link over here with his sword, fighting off bad guys. So you want to map, all you're doing is mapping where things are located. And then obviously when you go from a desktop to a tablet usually has less real estate. And I know there's tablets out there that are almost the size of a desktop, and you can break off the screen and take it with you and fold it up and put it in a bag. But we're going to assume for now that the tablet is smaller, okay, than the desktop. So here's the tablet version. Okay, notice it's skinnier, and there we go. It's skinnier, and so it has less real estate. So I can't place as many. I cannot place as many buttons, navigation buttons on the top. Now you can make it smaller. So here's where you have to make a choice. Okay, do you want to make your buttons smaller and have all four, or do you want to keep them the same size and then use a hamburger menu where you click on it and then the other two, the about and the contact us and whatever else you have, opens up. So once again, that's an executive decision that you get to make, okay? And you will be making an executive decision if you're the head designer or you're the senior web developer, the senior designer, okay? And then I got the same piece. I got my game board, and then I got my info and my stats. Okay. And then when it comes to the mobile meaning cell phone. Yes, I know there's different sizes cell phones. There's different sizes laptop, desktop. There's different sizes tablets. So pick a size. You don't have to do one for every single type of desktop screen there is. And then you say, well, what if I'm working off of the big screen in my house? You don't have to do all that. Okay. Just pick one size for the desktop, one size for the tablet, one size for the mobile, and then go for it. Now, mobile obviously is even smaller for most people. I know there's these big phones, but mobile is usually smaller than the desktop and the tablet. Okay. So I chose to have no button showing in just a hamburger menu. And if a person were to click on this, it would open up and you would see the home, the about, the contact us, and then the game. Okay, and so my game board is first because that's what to me is the most important on a game screen, is the main action area, and then you have the info and the stats. Those could be in any order really, but you, like I said, you as the head developer, designer, get to make that decision. Okay, what should come first and second? And even in one of the videos I showed, the lady talked about, rearranging and looking at different ideas. And for right now, this is pretty good. I mean, you can flip it around, not going to make that big of a difference. Not putting a whole lot on this. So that's what mobile would look like. Notice there's no pictures. Okay, there's no color. It's an abstract version of what you're going to do. So it's kind of like a blueprint. Here's the idea of what I want to make. And then you take that, present it to the necessary personnel. They get it approved, and then you start putting pictures. Now, your project, you're going to do both the wireframes for those who are taking the class, the wireframes, and then you're going to turn around and do the comps right away, which would not happen in reality. You would do the wireframes, get it approved, and do the comps. And I'll do a comp in another video. So this is an example of what a wireframe would look like. You can use whatever technology you want to in reality. If you're turning this in, please put it in PowerPoint, PDF, or Word document. And there's plenty of free applications here. I'm using Microsoft Paint. Okay. There's plenty of free applications. There's one named in the video I left in the announcements. So please don't just use a pencil and paper sketch and turn that in, because there's so many good things. If anything, use the basic Paint application on your PC or Apple computer, whatever you use, okay, or Google, your Google notebook. But do turn in as the final draft in Word, PDF, or PowerPoint. Okay, thank you. Hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time.